Russian spies, in particular this fellow right here, Charles McGonigal, are now going to be the subject of a congressional investigation, in addition to a DOJ investigation, criminal prosecutions out of 2 different courts. We're going to go through this because we have a very unique situation. We have consensus and unity in America. It's a beautiful thing. Look at this. 2 letters from opposing sides. Wow, it's a miracle. Jim Jordan and Matt Gaetz, they sent one from the Judiciary Committee over to Christopher Wray demanding answers about McGonigal, and Senator Durbin, a Democrat who's in the Senate Judiciary Committee, sent a letter too. But that one went over to the DOJ. They both want to know why this guy, who was an ex-special agent, FBI agent, the man responsible for a lot of the initial stages of the Trump-Russia hoax collusion, fake investigation, why he was allowed to be so infested within the FBI for so long. Let's take a quick look at one of his cases out of the District Court for Washington. You see this one is called United States versus McGonigal out of the District of Columbia, last updated today, February 3rd. And this document wasn't even there when I checked this site earlier. And let's see what this one is. Here it is. The Honorable Judge. Okay, so this is just a waiver of speedy trial. So we'll come back to that. So this is what the docket looks like, and we'll go back to that one. Over the past few days since we covered this, remember we rewind the clock and we saw the original charges were filed back some time ago. We read through all of the indictments previously here on this channel. But as we go up to the current filings, you'll see that there was a minute order where the judge asked the defense to waive your right to a speedy trial, right? This is going to take a long time. And so you know that you have a right to a speedy trial. The government can't just charge you and just throw you in prison for 35 years like Dantes. It is something where they've got to move quickly unless the defense waives it. So the defense counsel was instructed to file a speedy trial waiver. That's exactly what we just saw was filed today, so they are following orders. They say to the Honorable Judge, we are waiving our right to a speedy trial. Our client's been advised of his rights. We know this is going to take a long time, and we're okay with that. So that's what's going on there. Not too much new. But there were several letters that also went out. Jim Jordan and Matt Gaetz from the Judiciary Committee in the new House of Representatives sent a letter over to the FBI. On February 2nd, coming from the Judiciary Committee out of the new House of Representatives, submitted by Jim Jordan, chairman out of Ohio, sends a letter to Dear Christopher Wray, director of the FBI. And he says the following. All right, Chris. Our committee on the judiciary is continuing to investigate allegations of politicization and bias at the FBI. Just last week, with the indictment of former senior official Charles McGonigal, the American people were reminded yet again about the seemingly pervasive problems within the FBI. We write to request material about McGonigal's conduct. They say on January 23rd, the DOJ unsealed an indictment charging McGonigal, which we covered here previously on this channel, who is a former special agent in charge out of FBI New York counterintelligence. Why did he get indicted? For taking money from a Russian oligarch called Oleg. That guy had ties to Vladimir Putin. McGonigal allegedly violated sanctions imposed by the United States and the international powers and concealed the payment and laundered the money for the Russians. Okay? So this is an FBI agent, special agent, in charge, by the way, who was colluding literally with the Russians. And this guy was in charge of investigating Trump for colluding with the Russians. McGonigal allegedly took these actions after previously supervising investigations into Deripaska and Russian rivals. According to the indictment, they say that his role as the special agent in charge, that he supervised and participated in investigations of Russian oligarchs, okay? His job was to investigate these people. Instead, he was conspiring with them. And he worked for the FBI during the time he was doing that. McGonigal also received and reviewed a then classified list of Russian oligarchs who the Kremlin was worried would get sanctioned as a result of the battle with Ukraine in 2014, not the current one. This misconduct erodes the public's confidence in the FBI. So they're asking for some information. They say, this indictment of one of yours raises new questions about the FBI's counterintelligence efforts. According to reports, McGonigal previously played an instrumental role in the decision to launch the Crossfire Hurricane investigation, which was the investigation against Trump. In fact, the same Russian oligarch who paid McGonigal was working with Christopher Steele, the guy who wrote the PP tape dossier, whose widely discredited information played an essential role in the FBI's efforts to obtain wiretaps against Trump's Carter Page. Right? That's this guy. Soon after the FBI launched Crossfire Hurricane, which was launched by McGonigal, James Comey then promoted McGonigal to be the special agent in charge in New York so that he could stay engaged with his team, which included questioning Carter Page. During Crossfire Hurricane, the FBI then abused its authority and altered evidence. So Jim Jordan and Matt Gaetz, they say, here's what we need from you, FBI. 1, all the personnel records from McGonigal. We want all of the communications related to the investigation of McGonigal. Plans to assess and address any national security risks posed by his indictment. In other words, what is the FBI doing now that you know that one of your agents is literally a mole? Like, pick any one of the TV shows. That FBI agent who's selling out the bureau for the Russians is literally this dude. And he was working at the FBI. So is the FBI doing a damage assessment? Are they going to fix this thing? What's going on here? Please provide this information no later than February 16th. In addition, we ask that you arrange a member-level briefing to discuss the FBI's investigation of Charles. And we want to review your procedures. What is the process to review the decisions that McGonigal made? Basically, this should open up the entire Trump investigation again. What review, if any, is the FBI undertaking to ascertain how the Russian Federation, how they turn senior officials? Are you learning how your agent got turned? What's the process that you're learning using to know if he had improper influence over other agents? Did you close any matters that may have been improperly influenced? You need to reopen those investigations? Do you screen and monitor your agents? Do you even care? Do you even care about this, Chris? Please call us if you have any questions. Sincerely, your friends, Jim Jordan and Matt Gaetz. Copying Jerry Nadler, the Waddler. So that's the letter. Now, this is from 2 Republicans from the Committee on the Judiciary out of the House of Representatives. And so you're saying, all right, it's just an aberration. Who cares that, whatever, the Democrats don't care at all. Wrong. The Democrats do care. This one comes out from Rick Durbin, Illinois, a Democrat from the United States Senate, the Committee on the Judiciary. And look what he says. The letter goes out to 2 people as well. Merrick Garland, U.S. Department of Justice, as well as the Honorable Christopher Wray from the FBI. Says, I write to express our concerns with the unsealed indictment. This is a Democrat speaking. Against Charles McGonigal. On January 23rd, you charged him. Apparently, he's an agent of yours. He was special agent in charge out of New York. Even Dick Durbin says, yeah, these allegations are extremely disturbing and they raise concerns about the impact on the FBI. Mr. McGonigal oversaw many sensitive counterintelligence investigations, including Paul Manafort. And he was just put in charge of the FBI in October 2016. The committee remains in the dark on the true extent to which Mr. McGonigal's alleged conduct may have impacted these highly sensitive matters. Whether his alleged misconduct materially impacted the outcome of the investigation remains unknown. It's important to ensure the American people, they have confidence in the FBI. Good luck. You guys have a lot of work to do to repair that. How many counterintelligence investigations did McGonigal oversee as the special agent in charge? Durbin wants to know. Of all of those, how many were related to individuals he's now accused of working with? What role did McGonigal play in the Crossfire Hurricane investigation into Donald Trump? Wow. What role did McGonigal play in the Mueller investigation? Has the FBI identified any other compromised evidence? What policies or procedures does the DOJ and the FBI have in place to make sure this doesn't happen again? And what policies and procedures, why did they fail to alert them that he had been compromised? Sincerely, your friend, Chair of the Judiciary Committee, Senator Richard Durbin. Copying Lindsey Graham. Oh, gosh. What's he going to do about any of this? All right, so that is Dick Durbin's letter. And so that's 2 letters, Republicans and Democrats sending this material over to the FBI and the DOJ demanding answers. And we'll see if they respond or what they have to say. But we do know that the new Weaponization of Government Committee is also going to be in session coming up very soon. They tell us next week, Thursday, February 9th, 2023 at 12 p.m. Eastern Time, the hearing on the weaponization of the federal government will be taking place. And they posted on Twitter, they are ready. And of course, we will continue to cover it when that comes up next week. I hope you join us. Thank you for subscribing wherever it is you're watching this, and we'll look forward to seeing you on that next one.